Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. Remember, folks, it's Just Whiskey. And today I'm going to scratch the curiosity itch, and we're going to be comparing three different batches of Clynelish 14-year-old. 46% ABV, no mention of chill filtration or coloring. It is a Diageo product. At 46% ABV, there is no need for them to chill filter it. So I'm going to assume that it's probably non-chill filtered. But the coloring, these are three completely different batches, and the coloring, I would say, is identical. So I'm guessing they use some kind of color gauge or a spectrometer to dial in that color. However, I don't think it's, for a 14-year-old, I don't think there's a tremendous amount of coloring in there, but maybe a little bit. And I'm a Clynelish lover, and there's a lot of reviewers out there that talk about batch variation, and some batches, the folklore has it that Clynelish used to be great before they cleaned all their line arms, and then there's speculation of, well, maybe they're using, lesser quality casks. But there's another channel on there, Brian from Whisky Uncorked, who did a review of one specific bottle that I have here that he didn't get on with. And his bottle code began with L2250. Okay, so one of these bottles is that code. And what I did before the show is I knew there were three different bottle codes on there. I had the tubes labeled 1, 2, and 3. But I purposefully did not look at the bottle codes. And so this is 1, 2, 3, and the glasses are 1, 2, and 3. And I tasted each one, nosed on the palate, and I decided which one I preferred, because there is batch variation. And I'll tell you, we're going to get into it, which one I like the best, actually. So the caveat here is bottle 1, all the way to my furthest right, your left, and bottle 3, the last one, all the way to my left, your right. They were both opened about 3 or 4 months ago, and you can see this. I've basically just been sampling them. The bottle hasn't gone down that much. However, bottle number 2 in the middle here, you can see the level is noticeably lower than the other two, and that's been open for probably around 6 months ish. So take that into effect. What's great about Clynelish 14 is you can still find these in my area anyway. I can buy these all day long at a couple of different stores for $50. $50 to probably get, you're getting a 46% Highland single malt that is really high quality. So the price range is $50 to $70. Some stores have it as high as $70. But for $50, that's why I have 3 open bottles. It's not a big deal, really, to experiment. So what the bottle codes are, and I'm already going to give it away. Well, not really. But so bottle number 1 is the same bottle the same bottling code that Brian from Whisky Uncorked had, and it starts with L2250. My understanding, and I could be wrong, these bottle codes can be very convoluted, but my understanding is the first number is the year. So it's probably a 2022, and then The 250 is the day of the year. So L2 means 22, 2022. And then the 250 would be the 250th day of that year of 2022. That's kind of my understanding. But regardless, that is the bottle code on sample number 1, which is the one Brian didn't really get along with. And then bottle number 2, the code is L2336. So it should be the same year, 2022, but the 336th day of the year. And then bottle number 3, the code is L4022. So I'm assuming that's 2024 and the 22nd day of the year of 2024. But regardless, even if I'm wrong, these are 3 separate batches. So with no further ado, and this is where we're going to kind of give it away. And again, before I started the show, I had no idea what the bottling codes were on this. It just so happens that bottle number 1, the 2250, is my favorite. The nose, right away, as soon as I pour them, I nosed each one, then I tasted each one. The nose on bottle number 1 is rich, full, orchard fruits, peach, tropical fruits, that candle wax. That translates to the palate. Vibrant, zesty, sweet fruits, viscous, medium long finish with a pleasant, spicy astringency at the tail end. And again, that candle wax is definitely there. Quick sip. It reminds me a little bit of Glenmorangie, 10-year-old, the older versions. Now, bottle number 2, sample number 2, right off the bat, the nose is very quiet. And again, the caveat here, this bottle has been open the longest. But the nose is quite quiet. What I'm getting is fennel and an herbal note. The palate is lighter, less sweet, a little more drier. I would say more of a way less considerably less candle wax. More of a medium finish. And then bottle number 3. Again, I have a feeling this is the 2024, so this is a newer version. The nose is almost as pronounced as number 1. It's full, it's rich. Caramel, spearmint, viscous, syrupy, finish, medium long. 3 different batches. This is what's interesting about all of this is, palates are subjective. So I'm not here to say, I'm right and Brian's wrong. Not at all. Different palates, different days of the week. And even with that bottling code, in that batch, I don't know, maybe they released 20,000 bottles, and maybe some of those bottles were poured first, poured last, who knows. But what's interesting is the bottle that I had open the longest, I had no comparison to go by. I've enjoyed Clynelish 14 for quite a long time. And without any comparison, the second bottle I enjoyed very much. But now comparing it, it's my least favorite out of the three. And ironically, my first favorite is number one, which is the bottle code L2250. And my second favorite would be all the way over here to my left, your right, which is bottle number three. That would be my second favorite. And my least favorite is the bottle that I've had open the longest, which is L2336. Still enjoyable. None of these are bad. But it's just an interesting little thing that I wanted to do here. I've reviewed Clynelish 14 in the past. I would, a good batch is an 8 out of 10. A lesser batch, leaning more towards 6 or 7 out of 10. So I would say bottle number one is an 8 out of 10. Bottle number two is probably a 7.5 out of 10. I don't like the split scores, but it's damn close to this one. And then my least favorite is probably on the lower end of 7. Still very good. But yeah, there you have it. I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I think they're all good. Some batches better than others for whatever reason. So there you have it, folks. Consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. As a Patreon, thank you very much. You have access to exclusive Patreon reviews, and I have about 60 in the archive so far. So hats off to you all, and take care, folks.